That's unfortunate. You guys.
Where do you want me? I'm not in.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine right where you're at.
Okay, everybody just talk
Jesus.
for a second so I can.
Test
Todd?
1, 2, test 1, 2.
Hello, hello.
Is that everybody? Is everybody talking?
Not yet.
Oh, I
Amy
talked.
is.
Yeah?
Talk.
You're
Yep.
first.
No, I'm not. Julius. No.
These cameras, how long do we have different places? Pardon? How long do we have till you guys come up here? Like right now?
Jim's gonna back around here and we're gonna start dragging some stuff out.
Okay, we'll try to get this in first.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
We're fast talkers.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
don't have much to say.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming and for allowing us to be here. If you would share with us what your names are and what relation you are to this historic moment.
Well, that's you, Amy. You're first.
I'm Amy. I am Carl's daughter.
And this is.
What?
Can we talk about the plane sale?
No, let's introduce
I'm
yourselves
Julie,
first.
and I am Carl's granddaughter.
So, her daughter. I'm Dawn. I grew up running around here. Our parents were best friends.
And I'm Norm. I grew up right on this side street over here and used to remember playing in these as a child.
Great. Yes. So, if you could talk a little bit about what you know about how these got here, how the
Nope.
ducks got
I
here.
was
You
If there was
talk
any-
on that. I
born
don't
in
know.
57, so
Yeah.
We assume they were here before. My father was the friend of Carl's, and he remembers them being here before he met him in 1957. And just I grew up running around here and remember them hanging in the garage, and always thought that was one of the most awesome things ever. But you know, other than that, it's just we played in them when we were kids, like Norm said.
and then I ended up marrying Amy. She used to run from me as a child. 40 years later, we're married, you know. But
Yeah.
that's how that one worked out.
So, could you talk to us a little bit about contacting Maps and how we ended up here today?
Yeah. I grew up with them as well in the barns and in the garages, and I played with them. The side used to be gone, so you could just get right into the fuselage. And I used to bring my friends over, and the roof collapsed, and I told them the plane crashed into the barn, and there were dead bodies still in there, and so that was always a good story with the friends. So I contacted Wayne in 2015 from the Maps. Actually, I wrote something on a post online, and then I think he got in contact with me and said, hey, really interested in these planes. So I kept in contact with him probably up until a little bit into COVID. And it was hard because at that point when I first contacted him, my grandpa was still alive, and I didn't know if he was ready to part with them. So then the next step was getting them out of their locations. So kind of took a pause on that for a while, and then I was like, you know what, they got to go somewhere. And I liked the Maps Museum, and I liked the first contact that I had with him, and the fact that Goodyear had a connection there. So we just recontacted him, gosh, maybe 2 months ago, and got the ball rolling really fast.
Yeah.
So it's working out.
I can remember my dad saying Carl would never part with them. There was an opportunity, I want to say probably 50
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago, from a friend of a friend's, the guy he graduated
Yeah.
from Western, and he knew a guy that was offering him money for him, and
Yeah.
Carl wouldn't.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to get rid of him. He was just that kind of guy, and hung on to him. We knew this day would come someday.
Yeah.
You know that.
As well as
It's a
many
big
others.
Thankful,
surprise.
and we're thankful that they're not being scrapped. You know, I mean, I think that is a blessing in disguise, really, because this is going to be something historical for these guys to
Yeah.
have in their memories, and just thought it was pretty cool of you guys. Appreciate all the
Yeah.
work you're doing.
We had private buyers too that wanted them for their
Oh,
own
yeah.
personal, but
Yep.
I wanted them to go to you guys.
Yeah. I think
We
that
are
was
so grateful.
an awesome move there.
And I'm impressed
thank
with
you.
your crew. They
Now I have to go
Yeah.
find out what we did with the old Navy
Absolutely.
guys. Back there, sitting in his chair.
So, could each of you just share one memory that you have about growing up here related to
Oh.
these Goodyear Ducks?
It's not very often you tell your friends that
Yeah.
you have 4
Yeah.
airplanes
It was
in your
exactly-
garage.
It was a normal thing, I think, for all of us, just to
Yeah.
casually mention we have 4 airplanes, and they're like, "Well, where?"
Or what are
I had
they?
to tell my boss to get today off, and he goes, "Wait, what? There's airplanes?" I said, "Yeah, we have to go help get them out of this, watch this historic moment." But yeah, I mean, it was pretty phenomenal to have airplanes on this property.
And I did Google them through the years, and I was like, I don't think that they know that these exist, and I don't think they have any of them.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll tell someone. So it was kind of always that. Hopefully, they care that they're here. I didn't know if they were just going to be scrap, or if they were just so old people wouldn't care about them.
And I'm not gonna lie, when we were kids, these barns were scary.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're still a little scary. But when we were little, going up to the windows and looking, and they weren't obviously in this bad a shape then.
We'd kick
but
the door,
we
make
put-
sure no critters
Yeah,
would.
it was creepy. I mean, my daughter would look at this and go, "This is a Criminal Minds episode here,"
Now, which,
But
which building did your brother Tom catch on fire with it?
Oh, there's a story.
No, behind
Yeah.
It was a-
this we had a burning barrel,
He's got burned down.
and he caught the wings on fire because they were back there before
this was
they
all
got
cleared
put
out
in there.
years ago. And we would drive that tractor that's in that garage all over this property, motorcycles.
And I think, don't you remember when Grandpa hoisted them up into the garage?
No, not really.
Okay.
It was,
Yeah, I don't know if he
I
did that
just
by
remember
himself.
hanging in
them, and
But he
That's how
pulley
they got-
system pulleyed them all up into
Yeah,
the
I
rafters
remember-
in the garage, and
but I don't have
at some point I think
clear
the
memory
ropes
of
broke
when
and they
it all
fell.
happened. What year or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think that garage has been opened in 28 years, right? Roughly?
Oh, at
It's
least.
been a while.
No, it's been a while.
It's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share about your experiences with your friends and climbing through the
You
chicken
did.
coop
Did
window?
you already?
Yeah, so the chicken coop used to have like slates in the side, and I think at one point they were missing, so you could just see right in there. So you'd see like this airplane, and then the roof kind of caved in a little bit, so it looked like a disaster site. So I would bring my friends over and tell them that the plane crashed into the building.
And that they were.
And sometimes I'd say that there were dead bodies. Sometimes I'd leave that out. They didn't want to play in them after that.
Oh, do you blame
It was a good party trick as a kid.
For sure. Great stories, you guys. Does anybody
Thank
have
you.
one last thing that you'd like to say or share?
No, thank you for everything
Yeah,
you guys
thank
have done.
you.
It was a lot of work.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Appreciate
taking
all
it
you.
on. And there's still going to be a lot of work.
Good memories now.
Right.
Good memories of going to a good home.
Well,
You
you'll
betcha.
have to come and see us at that.
Oh,
point.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Road trip.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
I need to go find the old man.
No, take your makeup.
Cut.
Yeah.